I realized that Pantera is a biography to my life. My sex life, my life, everything. I'm broken, 5 minutes alone. Fuck, 5 minutes alone was true when I was a kid and it's true now. Fucking hostile. Welcome to another episode from Takedowns to Breakdowns with A&P, and today we're here to talk about Pantera. Well, technically I'm here to talk about Pantera. I went to the show, he didn't. So it's going to be more about my review, my experience, but it's almost like an interview. You can ask me questions about the show, you can ask me about how the night went, the songs, whatever you want to find out about the Pantera show, now is the time to ask. No, but before we do that, I just want to say that as I was going through the songs, as they were playing and being performed in front of me, I realized that Pantera is a biography to my life. My sex life, my life, everything. I'm broken, 5 minutes alone. Fuck, 5 minutes alone was true when I was a kid and it's true now. Fucking hostile, walk, a new level. Like, seriously, domination, like, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, I mean...
it just hit home for all different reasons, but...
All different reasons from what the band was meaning when they made those songs.
Yeah, definitely. Not exactly. We weren't jiving to the same tune when the songs were made and how I feel about them. But anyways, the show in Toronto was at Budweiser Stage. Lamb of God was the band opening for them. There was a band before Lamb of God that's part of Phil Anselmo's label. Bite Child, if I'm not mistaken. Bite Child is the name of the band. But I'm not here to talk about Bite Child or Lamb of God for that matter. I'm really here just to talk about Pantera because I never got to see them in their prime.
You had a chance.
I had a chance. I blew it, which was also my prime. And the place wasn't sold out, but goddamn nearly sold out. Like, you couldn't... all you saw was people. Like, I posted a video on my Instagram stories of rotating the phone camera from the stage all the way around, like a panoramic kind of view. A sea of people. It was packed. Like I said, not sold out because once everybody's standing, you kind of hide a few empty seats here and there.
Yeah.
But nearly sold out. I think probably one of the best crowds in terms of numbers that they've gotten on this tour. Not the part of the tour that they're playing with Metallica, but their headlining shows. For sure, the place was crowded. Everybody was having a good time. Now, I gotta say, I'm surprised with how many young people were there. So there were not obviously Pantera fans from back in the day.
Oh, but my friends were there.
Which I met with them.
Yeah, my friends were there because they like Pantera and Lamb of God.
To be honest with you, looking at them, I thought they were more into the Avenged Sevenfold falling in reverse kind of crowd.
No.
So I was actually surprised that they were there. Like,
no, they're good people and they like themselves some Pantera.
There was a lot of Pantera, young fans of Pantera there, which means they probably found out about the band through their parents.
Yeah.
So good on their parents.
To be honest, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
That's an amazing thing.
Passing on the generation.
Exactly. You're passing on your youth to your youth.
Your experience of your youth to your youth. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. And Phil even mentioned that. He said that if you don't know the lyrics, just find the oldest person next to you and get the lyrics from them because for sure they know the lyrics. I was singing along to every song. Like I can't remember the last time I went to a show where I'm actually singing along to like every fucking song. I was like a kid in the candy store, like a fat kid in the candy store, like a diabetic fat kid in the candy store.
You have to emphasize the fat kid part.
Yeah. Like fuck, I was just eating it all up. It was fucking cool. So anything you want to know specifically about the show that you're interested?
I think we're all dying to know. Like I think we're all, wanting to ask you this question: how was Lamb of God?
Who cares about Lamb of God? Fuck, I didn't go there for Lamb of God. I mean, I missed. I'm going to be honest, I missed half of their set because I had a massive shit to take. And then I had my stomach was telling me, like, the shits are coming because you already had some giggles.
No, I totally
So
understand.
I had to make an executive decision. And it was like this. Do I postpone this shit to the limit? And then I risk two things. One, the shit coming halfway through the Pantera set, and I'm going to miss Pantera set to go take a shit. Or two, when I go take a shit, the toilet lineup is so massive that I might not be able to take a said shit. So I did a preemptive strike, and I went when things were still okay, and I kind of, coached it out, and it was good. So I missed maybe half of Lamb of God set.
Yeah, I mean,
which was okay. I've seen them before, so it's like, who cares?
Sometimes you gotta take those executive decisions.
It was the best decision I could make. I know I went to the porta potties at the back of the venue because the regular toilets
are always so like.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, these portables, I know people like frown upon them, but it's kind of like your own private toilet. At least for the time that you're there.
Yeah, but
it's not like anybody's walking in or whatever.
I don't know. I get kind of like claustrophobic in those, especially because everything's very like hollow, so it's very echoey in there.
I know, but the key for those, just word to the wise, the key for those is you don't go to the first ones that you see and the big lineup of them. You go to the ones the furthest away, because most people, as soon as they walk in, the first one available, that's the one they go into. So the ones further in the back still have toilet paper halfway through the first band's set. So I lucked out.
You did, yeah.
I lucked out. I even had hand dispenser thing.
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. So, fuck. I was living it up.
The best portables are the ones in Montreal, when we went to Heavy Montreal.
Yeah, those were good though. But these ones...
They also had the fancy portables at Heavy Montreal.
Exactly. But these ones were very good. So, anyways. So, that's Lamb of God.
That was Lamb of God.
That's Lamb of God.
Don't, like, how was the set? Like, did they play... Did they really... Because you didn't tell me anything about the show, right?
Well, that's why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing this. But, did they not play a song that you wanted them to play?
No.
Perfect.
If you look at their hits, right? And by their hits, I mean the songs that get played on Liquid Metal Until the Cows Come Home. They pretty much covered every fucking song. I cannot think of a Pantera song that I would like them to cover, or not cover, like I would like them to play, that they didn't play. Honestly, they maybe by Demons Be Driven. That's one of my favorite. It's not one of their most popular songs, but it's one of my most favorite songs from them. So I would have liked to see that song played. They didn't do that one. Then maybe that's the only one but that's a personal thing. I really like that track.
Yeah.
But when I think about Pantera from a generic point of view, in terms of what fans would expect from a set list, they did everything. They did Walk. They did Mouth for War. They did a little bit of Domination. Not the full song, just like a little piece. They finished the set with Cowboys from Hell before the encore. What else did they do? They did New Level. They did everything. This Love. They did something really cool too. They played Cemetery Gates, but they didn't play Cemetery Gates. They played it as a backing track with a video vignette of the Abbott brothers. Obviously, when they were alive on tour with Pantera and all of that. So they played the song with the video of you seeing them and performing and goofing around backstage, all of this stuff. A lot of that video footage was from Vulgar Video, which was a VHS tape that I own as a 12-year-old, and I think I watch it ad nauseum. I bought it when I came to Toronto, to Canada, to visit for the first time in 1993. I bought it as a VHS. I took it back home, and all my buddies would come over, and we would watch that tape. And it was because it was like YouTube without YouTube. It was like Bus Invaders before Bus Invaders was a thing, where the whole thing was their tour. I think it was a period of 2 years, a year and a half, and they just filmed all these shenanigans backstage and getting drunk, smoking weed, trashing like hotel rooms, all of that shit. And I love that tape, and they took a lot of the shit from that, and they did a homage vignette, a tribute with Cemetery Gates playing. So I thought that was really well done, really classy. I really liked that. Another thing that I thought was really classy is that they had these Pantera T-shirts, and it said "Tribute to Pantera." And then it had like back in the day, the Pantera logo had the Pantera logo, and it had the 4 faces of the guys underneath it. This one had 6 faces because it had the face of the 4 original members plus Charlie Benante and Zakk Wylde, who are filling in on guitar and drums now. So I thought that was also really cool to do. So there was a lot of those there was a lot of homage kind of moments, but that Cemetery Gates, I would say that's probably the biggest one. They played Planet Caravan, which is a cover from Black Sabbath, and they outstanding with a tiny little it's not even a drum kit, but like those kind of like, it has like a little like groovy batouk thing. I don't know what you call those things. Anyways, they use that, very stripped down. People, I guess some people had cigarette lighters, so they went up and whatever. A really like moody, dark but nice ambiance atmosphere to that song. Really well done. It came across extremely well live. Actually, better than what I thought it would come across live. So, really well done. And from a set list point of view, like I said, I couldn't ask for more. That vignette was really good. If you've never seen Pantera before, this is the closest you will get. And I honestly felt like I was not necessarily watching Pantera. I was watching a tribute to Pantera, but a tribute that includes two original members. So it was well done. It wasn't cheesy. It was way better than I was expecting coming in. I'm going to be honest. I didn't have real high hopes or expectations for what it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it was way better. Way better. You know? And now I got some messages on Instagram about, oh, did Phil sing? Or he's just too fucking old and he's just putting the mic to the crowd and getting the crowd to sing. Listen, dude, it's fucking Pantera. People are going to sing the songs regardless if he puts the mic to the crowd or he doesn't. Like, when Walk came on, Walk is their biggest song. I think we can all agree on that, right? When Walk came on, the guy could have gone backstage and had a drink or something. Everybody was singing the song from start to end. So, you know, I don't have an issue with him throughout the set, like, you know, singing. He wasn't doing it a lot. You know, like hip-hop shows where it's basically a backing track and you just do like every 3 or 4 lines or whatever. He wasn't doing that. He was singing. But especially in the choruses or certain key moments of certain songs, when he hears, it's not like he's asking like, come on, let me hear you sing. He wasn't doing that. He was just hearing people sing and he was just like putting the mic to the crowd. People were singing it anyways. So I don't really buy into that whole, he's old, whatever, he's making the crowd. Dude, it's a concert. You're supposed to interact with the audience and shit. Like,
true.
If you want to hear the album exactly note by note, then just go fucking listen to the album at home. When I go to a live concert, I want the band to interact with the audience. I want the band to read the audience. If the audience is singing along to your songs, use that to be part of your show. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought he was great. I love his timing in between certain songs in order to talk to the crowd. To talk about, you know, Pantera and everything that they're doing in the past and the present. So I honestly thought that was really well done. It wasn't cheesy at all. Good set, good performance. The only things I could say, like, perhaps a little bit on the negative, if you will, one is Dimebag is Dimebag. You know, Zakk Wylde is Zakk Wylde. I mean, Zakk Wylde is the closest you're going to get to Dimebag without Dimebag.
I think it was a pretty good choice.
It was a good choice, but the guitar tone of Zakk and his style, like, it pairs in comparison. You see what I'm saying? So while the songs were good and close to what the originals used to be, the tuning is not like for people who grew up listening to Pantera, and if you want to be really critical, there's certain songs that it didn't quite hit the mark. It didn't quite hit the mark. And he's not the kind of guy. He's not like Dimebag. You know, puts a foot on the PA, swings the fucking guitar around. You know, gives the horns.
Doesn't have the stage presence.
It's not his style, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Pantera is a band that had always been like that. Obviously now, Phil also is not jumping from the drum riser anymore. I mean, the poor guy, if he jumped off the drum riser, he probably would fucking land on a wheelchair. That's what would happen to him and me. But so he doesn't have the same energy. None of them have the same energy. But that's kind of like expected. But it's just like, for me, growing up, watching the videos, their performances in Donington, their performances at Musters of Rock, like growing up watching MTV, Headbangers Ball, and seeing how fucking crazy all of them were and whatever. Now it's kind of like a geriatric, tuned down version of that. You know what I mean?
The old folks' home.
Yeah,
version.
so like for me, it was more about the music. It was more about reliving the moment, reliving my youth, hearing those songs live, played by 50% of Pantera. It was more about that, and I was able to kind of like, okay, I cannot expect them to be what they used to be. I mean, it would be crazy of me to think otherwise, right? But it's still in the back of your mind. It's like, oh fuck, it would be kind of cool for him not to just like put a foot on the PA and just give up the horns. But no, Zakk is really like into the guitar playing, but that's his style. For anybody who's seen Black Label Society live, that's how he plays. That's him. So he's not trying to be Dimebag. He's just being him playing Dimebag songs. That's kind of how it is. So it's not a knock. It's just something that I gotta mention because it's something that for me I noticed. But all around, man, was a great evening. The place was packed. Before Pantera played, I saw security kicking out a guy with only one shoe on and half a sock on the other foot. I don't know what the fucking guy was doing. Well, he was not walking because he was being escorted. So
he also wasted.
I think what?
He also wasted.
Oh, he was totally wasted. And
I was saying he wasted.
No, but he was totally wasted too.
Oh, really?
So I'm sure maybe he tried to get into a fight with somebody. I'm thinking something.
I don't know how you do shit like that, man. Like, especially when you spend.
The tickets were expensive, dude.
Yeah.
The tickets were expensive. Now, I didn't pay for the tickets. Luckily enough, I have friends in high places.
Yes.
And they hooked me up with fucking really good seats. We were 3 rows from the general admission pit.
That's
so
really
3
good.
rows behind the pit area.
That's really good.
Really good. Really good. It would have been better if they were center stage. They were not. They were a little bit stage left. But fuck, beggars can be choosers.
Exactly.
Beggars can be even though the people that I were there with, we all had free tickets. And we were all like, fuck, this would have been better if it was like... And I'm like, fuck, why you guys... Why are we all collectively complaining about free tickets to Pantera? Wow, fuck, totally privileged. Totally privileged. We weren't complaining, but like as a joke thing. You know, like we were not complaining like, you know, not being appreciative that the label hook us up with tickets and we were there to see the event and see the show. Now, what I saw from Lamb of God, they were fucking good, but they're always good live. Honestly, they're always good live. They're one of those bands that there's no hit and miss. It's just hit. Like they're really good live. I just had to like make that executive decision because I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to miss Pantera, and it's a good combo because both bands I think bring all the rednecks to the yard.
Damn right.
You know, not the milkshake. The milkshake won't do nothing. Maybe the Budweisers, the Bud Lights, and whatever.
Was there as many rednecks? Because I was at a motorcycle meetup thing yesterday.
Dude.
So was there like the same energy of rednecks?
The guy in front of me had a suntan only on his neck. Like his neck was literally red. Like I'm not joking. He had like a tank top, like a white wife beater. So I don't know how he managed the sun to only hit his neck. Because the body was the same color as the t-shirt, white, pasty white, but his fucking neck was red. So literally, I had a red neck in front of me, but he was not the only one. There was rednecks a Russ, like seriously, it was like an inbred fest. You know what I mean? Like all over the place. But you know, Cowboys from Hell, man. That's
exactly
that's what we'll do. And Lamb of God too. They're from Richmond, Virginia. I mean, like. Doesn't get more. I mean, like Texas, Richmond, Virginia, like it's redneck central for those two places. So it brings that kind of music brings those people to the yard for sure. I mean, we're not talking about fucking Opeth here. You're not gonna get a bunch of hipsters going to fucking Pantera.
Groove shit. Like this is definitely
both bands are groove metal bands. So like that's the kind of people you're gonna get. But overall, great show, great evening, great night. Lamb of God played, I think, 12, 14 songs. Pantera played 16 songs. So they both played headlining sets. It's not like one played a opening set and the other one a headlining set. No, they both played headlining sets. Fucking great evening. Great evening. And the merch was not expensive as I thought.
How much?
T-shirts were like 55 to 60 depending on the design. Okay. And hoodies around 100. These days, that's pretty much the going rate.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that.
That's pretty much the goal. I had a bet with a friend of mine that went with me to the show, and she's like, "I bet you anything the shirt's gonna be 100." I'm like, "There's no way."
Oh no, we made that bet at Nice Nine Kills with.
Yeah, no.
And I literally said the shirts will be 60, and then I said the hoodies would either be 100 or 110.
Yeah, I was right on those counts, but the lineups for the merch were massive, and they had like 4 or 5 merch stands.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. So they made a killing.
They probably had to double that to maybe lighten the load a little bit.
Yeah, and they had a lot of great choices and stuff like that. I thought about it and I was like, because I was thought about buying a Pantera one just for the souvenir factor that I was there, and then my friend was like, "Oh, are you gonna buy one?" And I'm like, "Nah, I got all the memories I need right here, all the memories. I film myself with no shoes on, right here, all of them right here."
Dumb idea.
What?
Oh, I mean, having a shirt from the concert would be cool.
Not $60 cool.
I don't know, man.
It is what it is. I'm not regretting it one bit. Honestly, I'm not regretting it one bit. I'm happy with the memories I made, the friends, the situation. I saw a lot of familiar faces there, so great times. It was a great Saturday evening. So, in conclusion here, what I gotta say for those of you that are maybe on a little bit on the fence, because I've seen a lot of people like posting. So for those of you that have been to the Pantera shows, how has it been? Is it good? Is it worth the money? Is it worth going? Yeah. I don't think they're going to be doing this. They're doing this year. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be doing this next year and the year after. Like, it dilutes the product if you take that route, right? And it's not like they're going to release an album. This is like a one-off, because Charlie is busy with Anthrax anyways, and Zach is busy with his own shit. So this is like a one-off thing. So is it worth going? Fuck yeah! If you're a big Pantera fan, like even if you've seen them in their heyday, it's still worth going now. Like, because it's a blast from the past. It really is. So I think it's definitely worth going. I don't think you're gonna regret it.
I wish I could have went.
Yeah, I think you were working. So it was a good show. It was a good experience. Plus, I had limited availability of tickets. I got one. So it is what it is. Maybe next time. Not with them. Next time with somebody else. That they're doing a reunion show. I don't know. We'll see. Anyhow.
Creed.
Oh, Creed. We got to go to Creed. Seriously.
Definitely.
We're not missing Creed.
And that's our out of line thing is going to be.
We're not missing Creed. We're going to vlog that experience.
Of course.
At Creed, we got to do a vlog. For Creed, we got to do a vlog. So anyways, guys, if you have a chance to go see Pantera on this tour, festival shows, whatever the case might be, don't miss it. Seriously, if you're a Pantera fan, even if you're not that big of a Pantera fan, I think this is one of those that it's safe to go knowing that probably if you don't see them now, you're never going to see them again. We're not talking about Kiss doing a reunion tour for the last 10 years. This is not going to be that case. So go see them. Fun night, fun evening. I had a great time. All right? On that note, we'll see you next week.
See ya.